And we're back. Who's here for the smoke? Who's here for the smoke?
Morning.
Who's here for the smoke?
Can you hear me?
Oh, Zanya.
Yeah.
Oh, is he here?
Hey, got Tommy Boy in the house. He gave us a $2 donation. I'm going to try to decrypt this real fast. Holding hands with another man, going to the end of the rainbow, finding a flag, and now he forgot the parentheses, because now we got to add some kind of document full of money, and you're going to get a bunch of fists.
It sounds like a Saturday night.
Whoa.
Yeah, I tried, but I can't decrypt this. Seems like if you are holding hands with a man and cross the rainbow with a flag, you're going to get a document with a lot of money, and you're going to get fisted. That's what it seems like. I don't know. I could be wrong, but Tommy Boy can tell me.
You might have to come on live.
And as always, we got Mr. Balzania. You here for the smoke? You're here for that smoke.
Yeah, you want to smoke with us?
Oh, we have Anita is back. Welcome back. And we got Elder David Zerm, and we're back. And Tommy Boy's looking for Gay Bill. I guess he's trying to fist Gay Bill. I guess that's what he's insinuating. I don't know. Whatever's going on with him and Gay Bill. Who's Gay Bill? Bill Gates?
Iron Man, Bill Johnson.
Bill Johnson. Why does that sound familiar?
Bill, I don't know. There's a lot of Bills. There's Bill Cosby. There's Bill Nye. There's Bill Clinton.
There's Bill Penn.
Bill in the mail.
No, that's Big Penn.
There's Wild Bill Hickok. There's
You said Hitchcock?
Yeah, and then there's
Wild Bill that has the woman in the well.
Mm-hmm.
And puts the lotion on her and gets the fire hose. Yeah.
Then there's Bob the Builder. There's all kinds of Bills.
There's the Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah, Buffalo Bill. Yep.
Donald Trump's going to put all his money on the dollar bills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Congress is now deciding that they're going to pass that temporary bill so that TSA can get paid, but they're not going to be able to fund ICE. But they're going to try to do that to a resolution. But that probably will fail because it won't happen. But there's another bill.
Mm-hmm. Little Bill.
Yeah.
Little Bill?
You cut off the bill off of your hat.
Mm-hmm.
Electric bill.
A duck's bill. Platypus bill.
Anyways, forget that. Anyways, we're back. We're glad to see you. And all of you guys are here. And as always, we'll shout out to our members. If you guys want to be a part of Team TMN, that's still, I'm getting used to saying that, the Matrix Network. You guys can always be a part of that.
Be a part of something bigger.
You can click on that link right there and join TMN.
Join the cause.
And support us. We appreciate Anita, David Zerm, Iron Man, Metal Dank.
Bill.
They have become members, and we appreciate them. And anybody else that contributes, super chats, anything else. Appreciate all of you guys, as always.
I just got to say, on behalf of the team, Bill, we don't care if you're gay. We really don't. You can watch us, and we can watch you.
Well, we got a we got a we got a PC thumb going on here.
Whoa, that is politically correct.
I try to be inclusive.
Oh.
So I want to set a little preface. This week's episode is episode 199. Next week's episode is episode 200. It's the start of season 3. We got something. And it's so big that colleague and elder don't even know what's going on. That's how big it is.
Pretty normal for me, but, you know.
Well, not for me. I usually can't go that big out to start, but yeah.
Yeah, it's as big as Trump and his Sharpies. It's big.
Ooh.
So you guys want to tune in now. Are we going to do something special for the live? Possibly. Are we going to do something special for the pre-recorded episode? Possibly. But there is going to be something special. So you guys tune in. Next week's show, it's just a primer for what's to come in season 3.
I always like surprises.
Season 3. Can you believe we're already here?
Prelude
200
show.
episodes in.
I can barely believe anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is we've been going on this for what, almost 4 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's hard to believe.
Yeah,
That's a lot of years.
it is. It's quite a bit. 2 plus 2.
A lot of talking.
Yeah, I know.
Think about how much you guys have grown and changed in those 4 years. You know, you're certainly not the same two gentlemen that started this experiment all those years ago.
You think so?
I have no idea.
I think we're right in slew where we were, just like everything else.
Well, yeah, my uncle saw me the other day, and he was like, "My goodness, you've gotten big." And I was like, "Wow, thanks, Unc." I wasn't this big before.
Was that the last time he saw you?
Yeah, it was just yesterday.
Well, what I did see...
Should I read the comments, or you're going to go on something?
I'm going to go on this real quick. So, restaurants build fence to stop humans defecating on property. Literally our last resort. And also, there's some ad over here for sometimes guilty, always a pleasure. I don't know what that's all about, but this is
they're getting thrown in with the defecators. Whatever ad that's a poorly placed ad. I love it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, we don't have any choice in that. But this is the state of affairs. This is the United States we love, because this is right in the slew of that old broadcast, that Toilet Time TV. See, this is it. Restaurants build fence to stop human defecation on property. It started becoming a thing, like, oh, it's your turn. Like, it's your turn to clean it. The owner told people of the defecation issue. So I don't know about anything else that's going on in this world, but what I do know is people are still enjoying the finer things of life.
Like?
Defecating on restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's happening all the time. And, you know, I really originally thought this was in San Francisco because, you know, they got the poop app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But it's not. Can you guys guess where this is at?
Is that near us? In
Greenland?
In Nova Scotia?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think it's near
this
Philly
is?
because we don't defecate on other people's properties.
Yeah, we
We
never
throw
do that.
poo at other people's properties, but we don't defecate on them.
Yeah, we go ape.
Yeah.
Well, this is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So there it is.
Well, that's a little close to home,
Yeah.
but okay.
It's,
Oh, hey, you can't give out that information. But anyways, wow, Zerm, I think he knew.
ooh,
Hey,
what,
he's-
what did that
He
time?
was like, yeah, that's L.A.
Well, it could be both. It could be L.A., Louisiana.
Yeah,
Well, if
Lucy,
it's a-
Anna.
Loser Annas. Lose the Anna.
It's Lucy, Anna.
Yeah. Or it could be Los Angeles. I don't know. But I just thought it was interesting that out of all the slew of things, like I was just reading my normal feed of articles, which it's usually financial things or like news things. But
And you
right in
got
the middle,
dunked on.
yeah, right in the middle, they wanted me to know, hey, host, did you know that there's people defecating in restaurants? Yeah, I'm sure they are, but why do you want us to know? He said, no, I meant Los Angeles. So it took me down a rabbit hole. Why? Can you guys even speculate? So you're reading, financial stuff. You're reading things that are going on in the world, political things, technological innovations, blah, blah, blah. And in the middle, they want you to know about this. Why would the powers that be, and Iron Man's not on here because this would be a perfect plug for him to say the little hats. But
Well, you did then, so
well, it's almost like a trigger. Like I already know. It's like
Yeah,
soon as
he's already Pavlov dogged us.
yeah, I know. It's like I already know. Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, he clockworked
he's there.
orange us.
He's there. He was out there. First comment, so he might be out there.
As soon as Tommy got in there, maybe he ran away with his tail between his legs.
Why do you think they want us to know that there are restaurants dealing with this epidemic of people pooping, not inside? Because everybody knows inside in the bathroom, everybody poops all over the walls. That's a given.
And maybe in the kitchen.
Yeah, that. But this is specifically, what now it's more common to have these outdoor dining areas.
Mm-hmm.
They're specifically wanting to poop in the outdoor dining areas, and they want us to know this.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Who
Life
wants
is
us to
crap.
know?
That's what I'm saying. Just imagine yourself being me. I'm reading financial information. I'm reading technological innovations. I'm reading political things, and in the middle of all of this, and it's big. It was big. It was like they broke away from the feed, and there's just a big section. Restaurants dealing with people defecating on property, and then it goes back into my normal feed.
I mean, it sounds like it's a major problem out there. So, maybe they wanted to call your attention to it because, recognition of a problem is, half the battle.
Now, what would I do? What am I going to do about it?
Maybe they're getting ready to. Maybe they're justifying what they're about to do, which is send cleanup robots out to go clean up people and start wiping them.
You're talking about the eater robots.
Oh, right.
That,
yeah.
or maybe like one of those Olaf robots, but it's actually just a roll of toilet paper.
Wow. It's like a 12-ton roll of toilet paper. Yeah, which you guys have to tune in this week's episode to know what we're talking about. 12 tons.
That's right.
But
Olaf, though, anybody can go look him up.
it made me start to think, like everything, what do I say? Acclamation
Nation
precedes
precedes
propagation.
propagation. Right. Exactly. Yes.
Right.
Have it burned into my memory.
Right. And so what it made me think is that we're going to see more of this, and it's going to be more common. Let me take a sip of my juice. They can't. If I took off Tom's avatar there, they would see the truth. Yeah, you guys are protected from the holy sanctum.
Oh my goodness.
They're thinking of actually studying. Anyways.
So,
Is somebody there having some bowel issues?
I wouldn't call it bowel. Maybe dowel issues.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to eliminate any exterior activity. And I'm going to take you guys down just this little bit of a trail of events. So, if you just read articles on the surface, they're just data. They have some bias, but they're just data. But if you start assessing when articles are out, the time periods and the circumstances, you may create a narrative. So as we all know right now, I need to fix my button. I thought I did earlier. $200 oil isn't sounding crazy. It's always a narrative right now going on. Where's oil going to be? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go down that road. We can talk about that if you guys like. But this was also published about 8 hours ago. And then they lead us down to a deadly bacterial disease is returning, doctors warn, as vaccine rates fall. And then they take us to Australia, saying Australian leaders urges using public transports, say war's effects will last months. Basically, they're running out of oil, so they don't want you to drive. They want you to use public transport, or better yet, walk. Then it leads us to dizzying U.S. fuel prices are determined by factors largely outside of a gas station's control. Gas prices are going to go through the roof. And these are all common narratives. And then it leads us to the FAA, the federal regulation that controls our airline infrastructure, cuts San Francisco, that's nothing surprising there, capacity by 33% in blow to U.S. airline hub. So they want us to know that flights are being shut down. Then it leads us to COVID gives us hybrid work. The Iran war might give us a 4-day weekend, and this time experts say it could stick. So they want us to know that we're not going to be working as much. Which leads us to the bypass of the Strait of Hormuz with nuclear explosives. The U.S. studied that the Panama and Colombia in the 1960s, which was an ongoing thing, if you guys didn't know, called the Plowshare Program. Ooh. And the Plowshare Program is ran by the Atomic Energy Commission. And we've talked about this AEC before because they were also tied in with the body snatchers back when they were trying to test if babies would have radiation exposure.
Project Sunshine.
Yeah, Project Sunshine. But this Plowshare Program, it actually gets its word from Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4, where it says, they will beat their swords into the plowshare. And what this is all about is trying to blow holes into the earth and create another canal.
Whoa.
And so
what does that have to do with
this?
Messiah?
Well, they were just using that as the framework for Plowshare.
What?
Who cares? I was just saying a fun fact.
Whoa.
So because this is all becoming a big deal, the Strait of Hormuz, they are trying to revive this as a plausibility where old boy Newt Gingrich was sending this letter to Secretary Hegseth to say, hey, remember about this old program? He says, why don't we just blow a 21-mile hole into the earth, this pathway? And he says, because instead of fighting over this bottleneck forever, we can just create a new canal. Now, why does this sound familiar? Now, I'm going to try to tie all this together really fast. I don't know if you guys remember, but one of the reasons why the Gaza Strip was so pertinent is because they wanted to create this canal. I forgot what it was called, the Bermuzzi or some kind of canal.
Bermuda Canal.
And I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but the ambition is, what if this whole entire thing, because, they're not really doing anything. They're prolonging all this, and all it's going to do is just make things more expensive. It's just going to create this bottleneck. But what if this whole thing is manufactured so it can give them justification? Because they already have the Plowshare Program. This has been established since the 50s, that they can use nuclear explosions to create a canal. So it's not like this is a new idea. Newt Gingrich was just bringing back the idea. What if this whole thing is so that they can justify creating another canal? And they're just going to say, all right, if that doesn't work, we're just going to start blowing holes and creating a whole nother canal. What if that's the whole objective? And Israel will be down. Israel would be down. And America doesn't even have to do it. They could get Israel to do it. And it's all going to be safe for the canal. Oh, accidentally we did drop one on Iran. We didn't mean to do that. We were trying to do it for this plowshare, but, Isaiah chapter 2 on you, Iran. I just thought it was interesting that the narrative is...
Wait, are they saying that this is because we're going to have peace now?
No.
That's what that meant.
Yeah, no.
You beat your swords into plowshares to break them. You take those broken pieces of swords and put them into a board that your cattle would drag across. It was a till. It would till the earth, but that was only in times of peace. You can only plant and harvest in times of peace.
Well, it will bring peace when they create the canal, because all of this will go by the wayside.
What does that have to do with the price of Russia?
It doesn't matter. They're just using it as like a label, like a logo, like a branding. But think about it. They want you to feel it. You can't go eat at restaurants because people are defecating. Gas prices are going through the roof. Airplanes are going to be too expensive, or they're going to start, restricting air flight. And it's all going to be this big pressure point to where people are going to say, we got to do something.
You stay at home and quarantine.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Now they got these bacteria. It's just like this bigger narrative, and it's like we got to do something. And it's all going to be like forced into this point of it's because of Iran and this Strait of Hormuz. And it could be the justificational linchpin to create this alternate canal. And also, ultimately, I think the canal would be a way to justify accidentally dropping a nuke on Iran. Because if they did this, it wouldn't be the first nuke, right? It'd be a couple nukes. They're blowing up the land for the canal. But on accident, somebody got the wrong coordinates and they happened to hit Iran or something like that.
But, you see this pen?
Mm-hmm.
This pen is a pretty generic pen. I've used very expensive pens before. Gold, metal. And a lot of times they don't have any ink in them.
That's what Trump says.
They boast that they have ink.
Yeah.
You'd think how it feels, it feels real, but when it comes to actually writing things down on a piece of paper, signing important documents, the pen has no ink.
It's a disappointment.
All facade. So I just use these humble little pens that don't look like they have any ink, but they have all the ink.
What if it was invisible ink?
That's urine. Urine is
Lemon juice.
invisible ink. Like you could actually write things in
What are you
urine.
What are you decrypting here?
Things that were encrypted.
Right, but my ears need some assistance. For those who have ears,
Epstein
give us
files.
ears of corn.
Of course.
Tell us.
The golden pen is Iran. And this pen is the United States.
And you're saying they don't have no ink.
Yeah. They look flashy and shiny, but they don't have ink. In fact, because they don't have ink, we're going to switch from using them to a different pen that does have ink. And the ink is the oil.
Yeah,
they don't actually have the oil that they boast that they do.
That's your thought, that the claim that America is the largest oil producer in the world's a farce.
No, that's what's true. We are the common pen.
That have all the oil.
We don't have all the flashiness, but we have the oil. Kind of like Arby's has the meat. We've got the oil.
Yes.
Okay. So, what are they going to do?
Who's they?
Drill, baby, drill.
Wait.
Who's they? Who's what?
So,
who's going to do?
So, what's happening?
We're getting rid of the pen. The fancy pens. The gold, shiny Iranian pen is being removed.
Yeah, but they only have a little bit of comparative in production of export. I mean, the Hormuz straight only exports 20%.
Which is practically nothing.
Well, that's what Trump said. Trump said, I don't need it anymore. You know what? I ain't taking it anymore.
Yeah, it's not like, if you're going to spend $1,000 on a pen, that pen better not be writing 20% of the time. It better be writing 100% of the time. It better be able to write upside down. It better be able to write in space. It better be able to write underwater.
It better serve me breakfast in bed.
Yeah. It better write. It better be able to sign a document for B-2 bombers.
Are you saying that they're going to drop the nuke on Iran?
Did Trump say he was going to throw the pen away or break it? What did he say about those gold pens?
No, he said they're nice, but they just don't. Sometimes they just don't write.
Yeah, so he's just going to switch.
He's going to drop the pen on Iran.
Mm.
Iran. He's just going to drop the pen on them.
Wow, that's really deep.
Well,
just going to let them know that you guys are the pen.
Just
like
finishing up my little narrative. I didn't know that they had this thing called the Plowshare Program. I read a lot about the AEC back when I was researching about Project Sunshine, but none of my reading ever came across the Plowshare Program. And so what I think it's interesting is that they're bringing it up now. And again, this is all strange because you know that they don't have to do any of this. None of this is absolutely necessary. And what I think is even more strange is they still don't know what they're doing. Like they keep telling us, oh, we're going to do this. The war's going to end here. The war's this. This is not a big deal. Oh, I don't know, but it is a big deal. Oh, if you don't do anything, we're going to knock you out. My mama said knock you out. Oh, I ain't knocking you out. All right, we're going to give you another week. Oh, we're in discussions. We're in negotiations. Iran says, hey, what negotiations? There is no negotiation. Nobody's talking to us. And then Trump says, oh, yeah, there is no negotiation because we killed everybody, all the leaders. We already killed them all, so there's nobody to talk to. But we're having good negotiations because the people who are doing it, they gave us a big present, a big gift.
Probably a giant pen.
But there's nobody to talk to because you said you killed them all. So it's like there is absolutely nothing going on here. And so all I can think is, why do you want to even elude this Plowshare Program? And so maybe if they want to eliminate them, one way to eliminate anybody, we already know, is you drop a nuke. But you can't do it on purpose. You have to do it on accident.
Mm-hmm.
So if they said, fine, we're going to ignore this and we're going to create a canal, but somehow on accident, coordinates, something, maybe hey, I'll tell you a better way to do this on accident. Instead of using airplanes, use drones. Use automated drones. And then if they make an accident, say, something got messed up in the program. It wasn't our, we didn't mean to. It was an accident. It was one of those automated drones that Anthropic says not to use Claude for automated drones because it's not ready. But the Pentagon decided to go with OpenAI because OpenAI said, no, you can use our software. And they said, oh, yeah, we used it, but something happened. And that's an easy scapegoat if they want to do that. So there's these little nukes setting off to blow up the canal, but one of these drones fly off and they start dropping some nukes. I don't know if that's really going to happen or not. I just think it's interesting that all of this pressure that America's feeling and all of this stuff is all so unnecessary, so forced, that there has to, I could be totally wrong because maybe the administration is that stupid. All right. I don't think so. I don't think that, at least the people who are actually doing things, I don't think they're stupid, and I don't think they waste opportunities. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are really that stupid. Before you go to war, you need to make a plan. You don't go to war and then make a plan. You make a plan before you go to war. It's like anything in life. You know your goal, but you set executional parameters before you start to even execute. You don't execute and then it's like, all right, what are we doing here? Nobody does that. But that's what happened here.
I was going to say somebody does it.
That's what I'm saying. And it's hard for me to think they're that stupid. And so because it's too late now. You're already in it. You've already started the war, right? You can't go backwards now. Now you have to do it. So it's almost like now you're justified. Now, like, oh, we're panicking. But is it a real panic? Is it illusionary? And I would say, yeah, it's all premeditated. It's panic. And now you got to do something. Now you can create this force on the Americans and the rest of the world, literally crowding the whole world to feel this force. And now you got to do something. And what are you going to do? No wasted opportunities. So anyways, that's what I thought was interesting. You guys can take it for what it is, but look into that, and you might hear. If you hear, like this is the first time I heard about the Plowshare program. If you start hearing more about this Plowshare program over the weeks, and this narrative starts to gain traction, I think it will be interesting.
We'll be on the lookout.
Mm-hmm.
Should we continue reading?
Yeah, absolutely.
Harry Balzania says, it's not gay if it's in a three-way, right? And then David Zerm says, if it's with three dudes, yeah, it is.
At least he's definitive.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, really, what's wrong with three guys trying to hook up? Like, that's all we're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, we're connected.
Mm-hmm. It's like a hitch.
Is this gay?
Of course not. This is the most straightest thing any man can do.
Hey, are you gay?
No.
Are you gay?
I'm happy. Does that count?
What was that guy said? Why are you gay?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, are you talking about like, yeah, I'm part lesbian, yes, because I like women. But that's it. It's only like 50%.
Oh, so you're 50% attracted to men. Which is fine. I mean, you could be whatever you want. I don't care. I've already said, I don't care what people want, what their preference is. Hey, I ain't judging nobody. I don't even care. I'm just trying to find out the truth here. So
maybe I'm 100% lesbian. I don't know.
Yeah. You're still thinking about it. You're working through it.
Yeah.
It's because you're connected to us.
I'd have to go to 23andMe and figure out.
That's good.
Harry Balzania says, I know some guys named Bill. They keep showing up every month. Yeah, the Bill.
Well said.
Pirate Nerd Mom says, everybody knows Philly throws snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody throws balls at Santa Claus.
Snowballs.
Yeah, but it's a ball.
Yeah.
Well, it is a ball.
Well,
it's like a ball.
What's that in context to?
I don't really know.
You guys not know the story?
No.
It was quite famous. Santa Claus came onto the field at an Eagles game, and the fans pelted him with snowballs.
Sounds like a good time.
That's pretty famous, yeah. So
was there a reason for it?
It's Philly.
Yeah, I guess that's all you got to say. It's Philly.
That's it. Yeah, that's what Philly does. Yeah, we beat up robots, and we throw snowballs at Santa Claus. I mean, that defines Philly perfectly.
Isn't Philly also the place that had that trash strike?
We did have a pretty bad trash strike, but don't forget the tire fire. We're pretty famous for the tire fire that shut down I-95 for weeks.
Maybe they're just trying to clean the city up.
Well, let's not get carried away. It's its charm. Philly has charm. You don't want to take that away.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We don't want to take away the tar. We'll continue on with the Inquisition.
David Zerm says, no, I meant Los Angeles, LOL. Iron Man says, your mama wears combat boots. I think that was to Tom.
Man, there's like this always going to be this internal feud between Tom and Iron Man.
I mean, but there's some famous feuds out there. Tom and Jerry, the Roadrunner and the Coyote. I mean, geez.
So which one is Tom and which one is Jerry? We can't just say Tommy is
pretty
Tom.
Obvious. Well, I was going to say Tom is Tom, but maybe to switch it up, we'll say that Iron Man is Tom, and Tom could be Jerry, just to really confuse things.
Let's see. Elder says combat boots are very fashionable. And then David Zerm says it's like that famous NASA situation where they spent $1 million for a pen and Russia used a $1 pencil. Or like how U.S. spends $2 million for a Tomahawk and Iran spends $20K for a drone with a missile on it.
You know what was interesting about that? Japan, literally, I think last month, is funding a company that's building cardboard drones. And these cardboard drones will cost anywhere, and they're large, huge drones that have the capacity to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And they only cost about $700 to $2,000 comparative to how big you want it. But they're made out of cardboard, which means any existing cardboard factory could build them. You don't need this big, elaborate metal factory. You just literally need a cardboard factory, that builds like boxes or anything else. And they have developed how to make very efficient, long-flying drones in Japan.
Be curious to see how it does in the rain, I guess. But
that's what I'm saying. So that's true. If you can spend $2,000 and they got to spend $1 million to take down your cardboard drone.
Yeah.
And who's winning what here?
I forgot.
Actually, you can put a wax coating on cardboard that would make it water resistant.
Yeah,
I didn't add more weight to it. I mean, at that point, just use plastic. Like that's what a normal person would do.
Yeah, but a lot of times, they attack these factories, like military strategies to attack industrial factories, but nobody's going after cardboard factories. That's doing nothing. Yeah, but now, if you have an existing cardboard factories, which everybody does, everybody builds boxes for stuff, you can literally build legitimate drones.
I used to build stuff out of cardboard when I was a kid.
Yeah, I know, I did too. So I thought that was interesting.
Not drones though.
No, I'd build I built like this cool dollhouse. I mean, my brother would play and we'd play with our dolls.
So you are really 50%.
No, I think I'm 100%.
If you had said G.I. Joes, I would be on board, but
well, they're action figures. They're dolls.
You got to call them action figures. You don't call them dolls. Well, that's offensive.
Either way, we played with them, and so one time we built this big dollhouse, and it was pretty cool. It was like a mansion, and what we did was we cut cardboard chunks, and we used zip ties and like those little bread twisty thingies. So we put
twist ties.
Yeah. And we made stairs and rooms and all that stuff. It was really cool. And then we would play with it, and then when we were done, we would catch it on fire.
Of course.
And sometimes our dolls would get stuck in there. So one time,
as they do.
Yeah, we were trying to mimic like a real house fire. So we're like, oh no, we got to get this guy and that guy. So we're like trying to go in there, and at one point it got so hot, like our eyebrows almost melted off. So we had to stand back. Some of our G.I. Joes,
they didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't make it. They were actually in there. We could see them, and they were actually sweating because it was so hot.
Were they screaming?
No, but they were sweating.
Did you give them a 21 gun salute?
Yes, we peed on it to put it out.
That invisible ink.
Yeah, but we learned a valuable lesson that day that we figured out how to build a better dollhouse that will go up in bigger flames. So that's what we started doing.
Well, at least you learned that.
Yeah. If you can't eat them, cream them.
Start putting kerosene.
That is an interesting phrase.
What's that, Elder?
I was just saying, then you start sticking kerosene-soaked rags inside. Use it as a duvet on the bed or a sofa cover, upholstery on the rugs.
Well, see,
that's a good idea. We didn't think about that, making little tiny mazel tops, or what are they called?
Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, and we could have made little tiny ones for our soldiers to throw at the house, so that way they could break in the house and start this little tiny fire. Because
Well,
it
there's
looked
like
real.
you ever see the on board if you get liquor on a airplane, they come in those tiny little bottles. You could have made those into Molotov cocktails.
You know a lot about that, huh?
Well, I've been around.
Mm. Well, what you didn't know is how much a soldier sweats when they're faced with intense heat. Eventually, like their eyes started like falling down, and their mouth, like they sweat so much it's profuse.
I think that's called melting plastic, but I could be wrong. I'm just being pragmatic here, but you know,
Yeah, probably smelled like
yeah,
melting plastic. People probably thought we
that
were
would
doing something else.
that would explain a lot.
But
Puffing, melting plastic.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
actually. It's like nothing to see here, guys. We're not cooking anything in the kitchen. We're simply burning toys, simulating reality.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you
Well,
do.
Anita Carroll gave us a donation,
Thank
and
you.
I forgot to read it. I was going to read it. I forgot. It escaped me. She
Thank you,
said,
Anita.
"What's that?"
I said thank you, Anita.
Yes. Yes, thank you. And she said, correction. Arby's motto is "We have the meats," plural.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They have
guess I
lots of
didn't.
meats. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they just said "We have the meat,"
No,
but
no, no, she is
kind of went with
correct. It's meats.
yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see.
I'm hungry for a roast beef sandwich.
I
Dang
know.
it.
Man, I could eat roast beef all day.
Mm.
uh, let's see. The elder says, Tommy Boy, in case there was a catastrophic failure. Oh, also, so Tommy's been deleting his stuff, of course, so a lot
Yeah,
of
he
this is out of
loves doing that.
context.
We can
He
always
had
scroll
said,
through if we have
"Did
to.
you notice how that
Uh,
Artemis launch didn't have POV cameras for the launch? Any idea why?" And I answered him, "In case there was a catastrophic failure."
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Tommy said, oh, he's deleting it now. Can you
Oh,
scroll
there it
on
is.
that
They're all
one?
disappearing. What?
Wait, hold on, wait.
Tom, what? Ah,
Okay, let's go down a little bit. Actually, if you let me see that, I can actually do a little. I know where I'm at. Here we go. Okay, so Tommy said, "Oh, okay, that makes more sense, I guess. Though I don't see the hard in putting them on a slight delay and putting them further away from the cabin."
hmm.
Yeah, well,
There were some shots from the outside, just not internally.
once they went into space, though, it turns into Star Fox again. They, for some reason, their cameras all go offline in space. I guess that's the narrative they're telling us, which is
All
cool.
the
I mean, it doesn't
radiation.
mean it's fake. It's kind of strange, but you do you, boo. I
So not
guess.
much to see. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, in that video, I guess we play it. If we played the until the end of that video you sent, Elder,
Yeah. Hmm.
the end of the video, once it reaches space, it just turns into this cartoon looking image. And even my
Right.
kids are
Yeah.
like, "Wow,
Yeah.
that's the rocket." I was like, "Yeah, that's that's Star Fox."
Picture the rocket.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why do we have to? We were just watching it with all these cameras. There's actually cameras mounted to the rocket. You could actually watch it. It's taking off, but then all of a sudden, once it gets in space, it's like, oh no, feed's cut. So I don't know. That's weird to me.
Yeah. I think because it's kind of well, I don't think there's any exciting shots that you can get there. I mean, they every once in a while they'd show you a shot facing backward as it was um the way it was moving. They'd show the shot backwards, and you could see the Earth as it was moving away from it, which was kind of cool. But it's not a very exciting shot because it's just along the side of the ship. And I guess they'd have cameras on it, but, you're really not gonna see anything out there. If you point the camera forward into space, you're literally just gonna see black. You don't even see stars or anything. It's just it's it's literally just black.
But what
So,
about what about keeping the feed so we can see Earth getting smaller and smaller and smaller? Because that's what all the flat earthers out there have been wanting. They've all been critiquing NASA. Like, why don't we have any footage of the Earth, of leaving, not just leaving Earth, but actually watching the Earth get smaller and smaller and smaller?
Well, I'm sure that the problem is when when it's being televised live, they don't have one static shot. They keep rotating through different shots. I'm sure that and I don't know if there's a channel where you can see all the different cameras. There might be. NASA might have something up there, or a website where they have the different cameras available. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could watch that. And there is one inside the crew cabin, because I was watching a little bit of that yesterday. So they're there. I just don't know if the footage that they're broadcasting is consistent with like the same camera all the time. I don't know if there's a consistent feed.
I guess I'll find out. I'm going to start looking, seeing if we can actually see the Earth getting smaller and smaller. Yeah, it's going to be real stupid if that's the one piece of footage we don't have, is the Earth getting smaller and smaller. All of a sudden it just cuts to Star Fox, and then once we get to the moon, now all of a sudden it cuts back to real footage again. It's like, what is that? That's not going to convince anybody of anything. Let's see.
Getting cryptic. The chat's getting a bit cryptic.
I know. I'm trying to find out where I was. Here we go. Okay. Tommy Boy said, feud. Gay Bill and I get along well. Okay, that's good. I didn't know you guys are besties. Then he said, styrofoam would probably be better than plastic, to be honest. That's true. Better than cardboard. Then Tommy says, that said, cardboard isn't carrying a payload, so what's the point of that? Maybe some sort of plastic explosion?
No. So that cardboard drone can carry a payload of about 20 pounds, about 9 kilos. See, most people think, C4 or TNT or whatever, but the governments, they have proprietary explosives. Look up something called CL-20. CL-20 at about 20 pounds, which this payload is about 25 pounds max. So about 20 pounds, 19 to 20 pounds. It's the equivalent of about 30 pounds of TNT, which that could blow through any tank, any anti-armor. It could blow a hole in any airplane. It could blow a hole in buildings. So about 20 pounds of the CL-20 explosive, they could have transporting in these cardboard drones. Again, I'm not saying that's what they're going to do or not. Don't sue me, YouTube or anybody else. I'm just saying the government has access to all kinds of proprietary explosives. And CL-20 is one of those interesting ones that the government has. It takes very little to create massive amounts of destruction. So right at about that payload max, about 20 pounds, it's the equivalent of about 40 pounds of TNT. It could easily blow through a tank. It can easily blow through buildings. It can easily blow through a helicopter, a airplane, anything. So all they have to do is send these cardboard drones that cost nothing, basically, and load it up with the CL-20, and there you go.
Never heard of CL-20 before.
Just look it up. CL-20.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to be kind of careful if you type in explosives and stuff in your search engine. Google may start thinking you're trying to do something. Don't type in how to make CL20 or anything like that. No, they're not going to tell you anyway, but now they got it in your search engine that you're looking on how to make explosives and all that. But if you just look up what is CL20 and all that, and does the military use it? Do they have access to it? Yeah, absolutely. And that'd be right at that payload.
See, I'm already covered because all my search engine says is role-playing game stuff, so they'll just assume, he's just doing research for a role-playing game.
Yeah, and let's say, you have to add a couple things in there, like some sensors, the GPS systems, whatever else. So let's say you add another 10 pounds. So let's reduce that. So it has a max payload, let's say about 25 pounds. You reduce it to about 15 pounds of, and this is the carrying payload. So it's not including what's already about the whole entire drone weight. The carrying payload is about 25 pounds. So you reduce it to about 15 pounds of the CL20, and now you got about 10 pounds to put all these sensors, GPS systems, whatever else you need, and off you go. And whatever they got to figure out to make it work so they can carry this, I'm sure they can do adaptations to the drone. But that's all it takes. And they're going to blow through anything. Yeah, it's not going to be no atomic bomb or nothing, but literally you send a bunch of these cardboard drones, they're going to be blowing stuff up.
People do like blowing things up.
Is this a little too morbid?
You're asking
fun with explosives.
I just thought it was really interesting because every country has a cardboard factory. And they say it literally takes 5 minutes to assemble. Once you have it all cut out, just like a cardboard, like a box, it takes 5 minutes to assemble this drone. So they could pump these things out fast. And they say it flies about 80 miles an hour.
I'm going to have to look this one up. This is interesting. I'd love to know the engineering.
Yeah, it's a Japanese startup.
Yeah, I'm kind of a heavyweight when it comes to morbidity, so.
Well, you can continue with the Inquisition.
Well, I was going to show on a different line of thought the Artemis 2. So I'll just put it on. Wait a minute. What in Sam Bobby?
Yeah, what in San Bobby's? You guys ever seen those TikToks where those guys take those really expensive saltwater fishing reels and then just throw them as far as they can until the line goes all the way to the end and goes dong? Like they try to show that they're literally flinging it to the end.
No, I haven't seen that.
And once I saw that, I was like, man, why don't they put like a bomb on the end of that, like the sinker? It's like, if you're thinking about like primitive ways to like do things, it's like, man, out there just fishing, right? You're not going to do nothing.
Well, I was thinking you could put a bomb on anything. Like,
And
when you start
bombs,
your car,
of course.
what if somebody actually put a bomb where you start your car and the bomb goes off, or like you put it in let's say a pager or something, and then the pager blows up, or you could even put it in your underwear.
Well, this one guy was showing that he flung that thing almost a football field and a half. That fishing, he threw that thing almost a football field and a half.
No kidding.
Yeah, and a football field at 300 yards is 900 feet, so that would be about 1,350 feet.
Wow. That guy should play for the NFL. Maybe that was his NFL.
About 1,500 feet.
Maybe that was his interview video.
I mean, just think about it. You're picturing a football field and a half.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long distance.
Yeah, that's longer than I can throw.
And imagine if it wasn't attached at the end, so it'd just keep on flying.
How much you want to bet I can throw the skin over the mountains?
Yeah, so
I could.
I just when I saw that, I was like, man, there's a lot of things people could do in this world.
A lot of bombs they can make.
Yeah, why am I thinking about any of it? I was thinking about it because I saw this drone.
Yeah, they could, like, let's say you lay your head down to sleep, and you put your head on the pillow, and that's actually triggers a mine, and it blows up.
Yeah, that's true. They can put it underneath your pillow and you can go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just won't wake up.
Yeah, you might, but probably be in a different reality.
Mm-hmm.
How about on the toilet? Pressure switch.
Yeah, they say that's the most
toilet.
common way for people to die. Is most people die sitting on the toilet, especially older people, because they lose their muscle tissue and they're trying to excurt, and it's so much pressure that they say one of the more common ways to die when you're old is actually on the toilet.
Mm. Look at what
Thanks
happened to
for
Elvis
sharing.
Presley.
Yeah, we don't know what was going on in the toilet over there.
Well, they say he died on the toilet.
He died in Graceland.
Yeah. He was eating banana fried chicken sandwiches or whatever he was eating.
Yeah,
Peanut
that'll
butter
put you
and
on the
banana.
toilet.
Yeah, that sounds like something straight from
I don't-
McDonald's.
That'll put you in the grave.
Yeah.
Right in the toilet.
Yeah, I'll pass on the smash burger. Thank
So
you.
what you got from Artemis chapter 4?
Well, it's interesting. This is NASA's own YouTube video. So it's only 6 hours and 22.
Is this from the recent flight, like from yesterday?
Yeah, this is literally just happened. Now I haven't seen it past
GPS
this point.
signals acquired after launch and now working on internal.
We'll just turn
Is this the
Houston
rocket?
off real quick. Yeah, so this is video footage of the rocket, and they actually show the side of the rocket, so you can see Earth from below, down below. I mean, yeah, but then it just cuts to Star Fox feed at some point.
Oh, don't tell me they went India on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see this.
so this is the point at which, so you can see this is the rocket way up in the sky. People are filming
Looks
from
like a
down below.
bird.
Well, that's yeah. Anyway, here's the live feed. So here's the camera on the side. So you see Earth, okay? So far, so good. What everybody wants to see now is Earth getting smaller, because that means you actually left Earth's orbit, and we actually have footage. For the first time in human history, we'll have footage of the Earth getting smaller and smaller. Now, I'm not a flat earther, but I think this is kind of weird that they keep doing this. Let's see. Okay, so here's some more. So right now we're basically just where the satellites are. See if I can a little bit farther. All right, here we go. Yeah.
Oh,
look at
wow.
This is it now. So
I mean,
look,
I will
hold
give
on.
them that it's a little better quality.
Okay, look. So this is it. Oh, no. Did I miss it? Okay, it's getting ready to release the mother load. It had already released the other two.
What these metal studs?
Yeah, no. This is somebody filming from inside. I don't really know what this is, but it's
probably supposed to be the back of the engine.
all right. So I think, yeah, it's getting ready to cut into Star Fox feed, and then that's when it shows you. Yeah, this is where the big part breaks off. The big rocket breaks off, so we just have this little tiny shuttle that's going to continue on. Any day now. Could be happening. Okay, I think it's going to happen after this. Hey. That's it. Whoa.
What is that?
That.
Is that like a mothership?
They're about to do a barrel roll.
That ain't real. What is that? That looked like something from like Star Wars. What is this? What is it? They're actually zooming in like it's so.
And this is, by the way, this is NASA.
What is this?
What everybody wants to know is why they don't just let us see the feed. Why do they have to give us Star Fox at all? Why don't they just let us see what's going on camera?
What? I mean, where's the feed of the Earth going away?
That's what I was saying. Now maybe it's here. I've only seen up to this part because this is where usually the videos cut out. But I didn't know NASA had its own. So this is NASA's own video, and it's over 6 hours long.
No, we ain't got time for that.
No, I know, but no, this is at the end. The whole 6 hours of this whole footage is just NASA talking about, I don't even know what, honestly. If you look at it, it's just people in ground control and talking. Well, it's the preparation and everything, too. It's before
So I
the
just
rocket
looked
even
it
takes
up.
off.
Artemis 2 is traveling at 25,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So if they're traveling at 25,000 miles an hour, after 6 hours of flight, we should see somewhat of a distance. I mean, they say it takes, they've told us that it takes about 3 days to get to the moon. So 6 hours, we should see some distance away from the Earth at 25,000 miles an hour.
You know what's real stupid is this thing. So it's about to be over. This is NASA's own video footage. It's going to be over in about 30 minutes or so. Yeah, a little over 30 minutes. This whole feed's going to be over. They spent 6 hours showing the preparation of the astronauts, what they're doing, the training. They're showing all that stuff for 6 hours. And then the climax of it all, when the rocket actually takes off, is left for the last 30 minutes of the video. And then they cut it off mysteriously. So right now we're left with Star Fox still. It's still playing right now. I don't know if this is, let's see. Oh, yeah, now we're going to go into, looks like some kind of
Football game.
yeah. Oh, here we go. So we're not going to get that feed. That's it. So it goes from that straight to these one. Oh, we're going to go back to Star Fox, it looks like. Here's ground control. Look, back at Star Fox. It's like, why do you want to show us this? Let's see. Wow. So for the next 30 minutes, they show us Star Fox. Look at that. All they do, look at this.
So this is live.
So
this is live right now.
Okay, you're going to put something on?
This is live right now from NASA. And so we don't see anything.
Yeah, so they didn't show us the Earth. They didn't show us leaving the Earth.
Well,
just
so I'll
cut
go
it.
back. So here is about the beginning, and here's the flight. This is
Was that Earth?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Okay. Can we see them leaving Earth?
So this is a little bit earlier. Because, yeah, here's that automation stuff you were showing earlier.
Integrity good, PRM, and
Right here. See, they were showing this stuff earlier.
Yeah, that's where this one cuts.
This view coming
Yeah,
live
this is
from
out here.
Orion, now just 3
Still don't
hours and
see
10
Earth.
minutes
Yeah, they didn't
since
show us
the
actually leaving
over Earth's
Earth.
atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean.
And then all of a sudden we get here.
That is... What is this? Why?
9 degrees.
Like, they could AI generate something
Yeah,
if
see,
they're
here's
that
Earth.
scared. Okay.
And now we're going to automation, animation.
Oh, here we go.
That it was a good burn, so they are on a good trajectory for staying in high Earth orbit.
Let me see if I can put this on like times 3.
For the remainder of this flight day and into next. The high Earth orbit puts them into a 43,730 by 0 statute mile orbit, which orbits the Earth approximately once a day with a 23.5-hour orbit.
Like, the one part that everybody wanted to see.
So we saw that Earth shot, and that was about 17 minutes. And then all of a sudden, this is 6 minutes later. After you remember I just showed you that Earth shot? 6 minutes later, we're here. And this is it. They didn't show us any of the traveling from the first shot, which is right here at 17 minutes. See this? If we would have saw from this shot traveling out, but we see this, and the next time we actually see the moon is 7 minutes later here. So we never get to see the distance going away from the moon.
You mean the Earth?
Yeah, the Earth. So we go.
Yeah, I went through the rest of that other video, that 6-hour video. There's nothing. It's just Star Fox for the rest of the 30 minutes.
Yeah, so that's all you get. In the very beginning, they show you the Earth, and then this is the next time they show you the Earth. I don't know what to say about all that. And now, the live feed is just out in the abyss, so there's nothing interesting now.
Yeah, NASA. And they know what everybody wanted too. I mean, it's not like they didn't know what everybody has been wanting.
Like, that's the live feed right now. That's all you're getting.
There's no stars. There's no sun.
That's actually a swimming pool.
Yeah, Earth is just a big black hole.
Space
is just a big black hole.
Again, that's the disappointing thing is, like, just keep the feed on. Nobody cares about the animation. The only thing anybody wanted to see was a consistent 20, what did you say, 3 days? So give us a consistent 3-day feed. Just never turn it off. Just leave it on from the beginning.
Yep.
Even if it was real or not, let people decide. But at least just leave it on and let people say whatever they want.
They could have at least faked it.
Well, I know.
They could have at least made an AI of
just let it
Earth.
stream, though, for straight 3 days and let people decide whatever they want. And that would satisfy some, never going to satisfy any, but at least it would be something. But no, you give us all these animations and this and that. You show us Earth, and the next shot of Earth is like we're already way gone. And I was like, man, that's something else. I don't know what to say about all that.
I actually got excited too.
Yeah,
I just wanted to see what it looked like to be leaving Earth. I always thought that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like on Google Earth, you can actually. Did Elder leave?
I think Elder has to maybe use the toilet real quick.
Yeah, on Google Earth, I've always thought it's cool that you could actually watch, or you can zoom out really small on Google Earth, and then you could actually leave the Earth and then fly off into space. I always thought that was cool. But I wanted to see what it actually looked like, though.
Can't show you guys my wires.
Are you wired?
Well, whatever's underneath here. Anyways, that's the end of that. We're not going to be able to see that again. Until they tell us we're going to land on the moon. We're not going to see that again. Now,
well,
I guess
supposed to come back, right?
Yeah, I guess that's one thing they could do is like, all right, now turn the feed on from the moon coming back to the Earth. At least do that then.
You're not going to do that.
Yeah. Anyways.
They're going to give us Star Fox, and then and all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, we landed. It's like, oh, okay. Wow.
Anyways, back to the Inquisition.
Yeah, so Anita Carroll says, or I guess it's Annie Tax, says, I volunteer as tribute. I don't remember. That's way out of context. Harry Balzania
we
says...
take your donation.
Yeah. Harry Balzani says, sorry if I've been in and out, but working at my brother's dispensary. Why did NASA check off all boxes with this crew, as in ethnicity and other things? Seems more fake to me after everything told.
Oh, Elder's back. Yeah, I don't know. And, they could have fixed it. Literally, I've said this even before with SpaceX. It's the same thing. Just leave the dumb feed on. That's it. I mean, it's whatever. But you don't. And then all that's going to do is cause more people to speculate, no matter what you say. Just leave it on.
I don't know why. If they had to turn it into Star Fox, why couldn't they do Star Fox when they were taking off? And then when they get out, then turn the cameras on or something. Like, why do they always have to put the Star Fox stuff on at the same exact time? India did that too.
Yeah, I know. But at least with India, they were consistent. That's all they showed you was Star Fox.
Yeah.
They didn't even pretend to show the other one. You all right there, Mr. Elder?
Yeah. Actually, it looks like one of the cats pulled the plug out of the computer.
Oh.
And I didn't notice it, and then the batteries finally ran out and it crashed. So.
Oh. Okay, no worries.
Gotta love those cats.
I actually I thought that your feed was cut. It was like doing something. I thought you were going to turn into Star Fox too. I was like, oh no, not Elder.
Yeah, he's like secretly worked for NASA.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
he's in space. Like there's some kind of something behind him.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways, back to the
Weird.
Inquisition.
Harry Balzania says they even said it would be live streamed, but apparently that's only for the takeoff.
Yeah, whatever they're live streaming right now just looks like people sitting inside some office.
It's actually what India did too. They had a bunch of people in an office looking at computer screens, and then you had somebody playing Star Fox.
Yeah.
One of those people on the computer screen was playing the Nintendo 64 Star Fox. I'm not talking GameCube. I'm not talking Wii. I'm talking Nintendo 64 Star Fox. Like, try a somersault. My brother loved that game. I wasn't really too big into it, but he played that game all the time, so I know Star Fox when I see it.
It is what it is. You know, another missed opportunity, of course.
And Tommy says, yeah, they went full Indian on it.
Yeah. It is unfortunate too, because we can have these conversations about can we go to the moon, is it real, any of that. That's all fine. At least they had an opportunity to add new information, because we've been talking about the same stuff for like 50 years.
Yeah, 54 years.
It's like at least you could have added new information into this conversation of the conspiracy or something. Like at least because bad publicity is still good publicity. Any publicity is good. So this would at least got people to talk about it. Even if it was conspiracy people, it would make all the news. Everybody would still, oh wow, did you see the live feed? I think it's fake. I think it's real. And it would have just made things more, oh, we really are doing something. Maybe it's not, maybe it's real, but we're doing something. But no, now you got this. It's like nobody cares now.
You know how many people, how much tax money people are paying taxes to NASA, and they're literally just the biggest gimmick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even
if
if
they're paying.
Let's say they took us to the moon the first time, and let's say they're actually taking us to the moon this time. They've been getting paid nonstop for 54 years to do what? And they've been telling us this whole time that they lost that technology. So I don't know how they recovered the technology to take us back to the moon.
Yeah, through Elon.
Yeah, I guess. But then again, then he should be getting paid all those tax dollars. Like, what are they doing? Why are they getting paid all this money for 54 years straight?
Yeah, I don't know what they're getting paid. Some people say, and in some reports, again, these are all government agencies reporting on themselves, doing their own investigation, saying they don't get paid, they don't get much taxpayer money out of the budget. They get like 2% or 1% or something like that. But then again, how do we know?
Yeah, they don't take any. Yeah, they're not even eating. Their families aren't eating. They're just working tirelessly around the clock to put us back on the.
How do you feel about this, Elder? I know you say you keep up close tabs on the space program stuff.
Yeah, I've been a fan ever since I was a kid. I mean, I was born in '59, so I mean that was when the space race kind of kicked off with the Soviets at the time. Putting stuff out there, and I don't know. For me, it's very nostalgic, and I've always been a big fan of it. So having talk of going back is kind of exciting to me. Um, so I don't know. I'm kind of encouraged by the fact that they're giving it a shot. They're trying. They're physically doing something by sending the Artemis out there, and yeah, who knows? The next couple years could be interesting. We could see boots on the ground on the moon. And I don't know, maybe in my lifetime we might eventually see somebody, you know, set down on Mars. I think it's less likely. I see them doing more stuff on the moon than Mars, but it's exciting. I kind of like it. Being a science guy, I like it.
Do you feel like this has been a botched thing?
I feel like the coverage has been botched. They could have done a lot better job. It feels almost amateurish, to be honest with you, considering the coverage. And this was again, we're talking the 60s and 70s. They had better coverage of the Apollo missions than they did with this in 2026. I mean, for heaven's sake, we were seeing video live from the moon, and it wasn't bad. I mean, you could still see what was going on. Um, and here we are, 2026. They're sending this ship out, and they can't even have decent camera coverage on it. So yeah, it's disappointing.
You think it gives justification for the people to say, yeah, this is just another prime example that this is all faked?
Well, unfortunately, it would be easier to fake a situation like this with the coverage. I mean, yes, it very much. As I'm watching this, and it looks so, kind of like I said, like it was done by amateurs instead of professionals. It does almost look fake. It would be very easy to actually fake those images. Um, I hope not, because I want it to be real. Um, I think for some reason there's something about the spirit of the space program that I think plays very important with Americans. Like, I know there were a lot of people excited back in the '60s, especially during the whole the moon flight, and the time that we were in competition with the Soviets, obviously, to get to the moon first. But it just felt like every time there was a launch, people were gathered around TVs. It was a big thing. It was exciting. Of course, we didn't have the internet, so the only thing you could do is look at a TV set. But I remember seeing pictures of people gathered outside of, like, stores that had TVs in the window, and they would be watching because they wanted to see this. And um, it just there was something about the energy of it, something about the spirit, the nature of it. Maybe it was just the idea of exploration, and these folks taking this risk to go out into space. It was such an unknown. Um, but I think we've lost that spirit. I mean, it's not like we didn't have accidents back then. We lost a rocket on the actual launch pad. Then, of course, Apollo 13 having the issues it had. Then we lost the shuttle. So there's been setbacks. I mean, we've definitely had problems along the way.
So my
But
conspiracy mind
yeah,
is always jumping, right?
yeah,
So, like I say, timing, plotting, like ambition, and end goal. I think it's actually convenient that they want us all to emphasize on space travel while they're also talking about um, militarizing space, like the Golden Dome and everything else.
yeah,
And it will be easy. Like you can see how Trump wants to reallocate funding wherever he decides he thinks fit. Like he's trying to shove in ICE funding because he's utilizing the TSA non-payment as a means to
right,
fund ICE, and
yeah,
that's not working out. But if there is an ambition for space travel and he needs additional funding for Golden Dome, like I just showed last week, for some whatever reason, they need
he just
Palantir connected to the
puts it
Golden
under
Dome,
there. Yeah,
right? And so you get people's ambitions into the idea of the allure of space travel. But really, it's so that we can allocate more funding
right,
for whatever the militarized agenda or Trump's agenda or anything else. Or SpaceX is about to go IPO. They're about to go public.
yeah,
We already know that's interconnected with government contracts and whatever infrastructure they have. And to assume it's only going to be Palantir, that's crazy. Of course, it's going to be connected in some way with SpaceX. So my thought is the reason why they want now, see, it's timing. They could have done, they've been prolonging the space thing. They've been saying, 6 years ago, they're going to go to the moon. That got canceled. And then 4 years, and then it got canceled. I think 2 years ago, they were talking about it. And now finally, it actually got canceled. They were about to go, but then they said one of the hydrogen fuel lines had some issue or something, so they couldn't go a couple months ago. But they got it all figured out now, and now they finally went. So to me, it's timing also. The timing plus the agenda, to me, it just seems like everything is now ready for the government to start pushing more of people's attention and ambition into the space race. And then I start thinking globally. China wants to talk about all their ambitions, which they're always talking about going to the moon. And India's getting there. Japan was talking about that. And, all these people landing on the moon. And so the ambition is that people need to focus. We're doing Moon Race 2.0. My question is why? And I would say it's because the global agendas, they all know they need focus on space travel, because really the ambition is not going to the moon. There may be some ambition to build a infrastructure on the moon, militarize, whatever, collecting the helium-3, because they say that's going to power the Earth, whatever. That's one thing. But really, it's so that we can allocate funding for more of this militarized space war, because it seems like this is going to be a global issue. China just came out with this weird, it looked like straight Star Wars. Maybe I'll pull it up later. They showed they're making this mothership that's going to be flying over the Earth. It literally looks like something of the Star Wars. And they have the ability, it's almost like an aircraft carrier. Airplanes and jets would be able to, jets, like rockets, will be able to fly out with man-operated rockets flying out of this big mothership. And it's basically going to be this huge Star Wars thing where they're going to be able to dispatch military from space. They're literally going to have a floating military base. And that's what they're pushing out to their public. So clearly, there is some larger ambition for space militarization.
I wonder about putting weapons on the moon.
Well, of course. At some point, they're going to want to. That would be the easiest, assuming we can get to the moon, assuming that we can build on the moon. That would be the easiest place to start allocating some kind of militarization to destroy satellites, destroy militarized space infrastructure, because now you have a structured base.
Yeah.
And who wants to blow up the moon? If you start attacking the moon, what implications would that have on Earth?
Not good.
That's a whole nother thing. It's like you're going to actually have a war on the moon.
We've already seen that on James Bond.
Yeah, whatever. That's what I'm saying. This seems very convenient in timing. When my conspiracy mind starts ticking away.
Well, I mean, you had the Cold War going on in the 60s, and, it was kind of convenient then. It was like a distraction from being annihilated. Let's all rally behind the space program and get somebody to the moon. This is great. Hooray. And in the meantime, you got nukes sitting off the coast of the United States.
Appreciate it, Anita Carroll. Gave a $5 donation. She's sending a spaceship up on April Fool's. Yeah, that's another interesting thing they chose. Is a big laugh in all of our faces. Elder, it is so cute. You believe we're heading to the moon. Take your pills. Thanks for that donation.
I like that.
I took my pills today, and I believe.
You believe we're going to the moon?
I believe.
Yeah. That to me is, again, these launches are not accidental. Numbers for the government are not accidental. Why did they choose April 1st? I will say at minimum, that's ironic. At maximum,
it's ironic.
It's in our face.
Yeah, I know these launches depend a lot on launch windows. And they had already delayed this some time. And I think there was mention that if they missed the launch yesterday, it would mess up the launch window, the timing. So it could just be arbitrary that it just happened to be April 1st, but it needed to go up. So
they had to time it perfectly so they can get through the radiation belt and
get through my belt.
Yeah, and the
eye belt.
I know I've said this a few times before, but in school I learned that when we sent the first rocket up, we put a hole in the ozone layer. And so the astronauts have been NASA's been trying to send rockets through the same hole. That way we're not creating more holes in the ozone layer. That's what I learned. I always thought it was stupid, and I still think it's stupid. But now I guess you can't even find that information. So I don't know where my teacher got that or those science books we were reading from. They had really good pictures, though. Pictures of clouds and astronauts on the moon and stuff.
You know, I gotta say though, I mean, the Earth and the moon are both moving, so it does like it comes down to some point. It is about trajectory, and you know, if you if they're not in the right position, they're only in the right position for so long, and when that you lose that, you got to wait until they're in the right position again. So I know that was always part of the space program. It was always timed for these so-called launch windows. And if you missed them, you were completely messed up.
But see,
So
my conspiracy mind still keeps going. It's like they were supposed to launch this about a month ago, was it? Maybe about a month ago, but the hydrogen leak happened. I was like, was that convenient? Because, you know, that's the launch window. And they knew the whole time they were going to send it out on April 1st. But they just needed a reason to do that. So let's give this hydrogen leak narrative. Now we'll wait for our next launch window, which is, hey, it's just coincidence. It just happened to be April 1st. But they already plotted it was going to be April 1st the whole time.
So let's try to ground down into this and
let's ground me down.
It looks like we have two serious sides. I mean, I honestly believe at my core that this is real. The space program was real. We walked on the moon. We had shuttles. We're going back to the moon. I believe this is all real. Now, I know that there's people out there that would say I'm a fool, I'm being deluded, but you know what? In the same way that I'm a Christian and I believe, you know, I do believe that this is real. Now, I guess host, you're kind of with your conspiratorial mind, you know, you're looking at this and you're questioning all of it. So I guess my point is, from each of our perspectives, like what is the pro and con from each of our perspectives?
Well, if you're asking me, I think I've already explained. There's always going to be a larger reason. Like, I have a hard time believing the government actually cares about going to the moon for the sake of the moon. It's like, if that's all it is, like, this ain't 1969. We ain't fighting Russia.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. There's more agendas in terms of going there. I have no doubt whatsoever. But I do believe we're physically going there, though.
Yeah, see, I've already made my opinion about this pretty clear. I believe we may, again, it's may. It's hard to be definitive. How could I know? You know, so I'll leave myself gnostic in that position of saying, I don't know. We could not. So it's fine. But let's assume that we have the ability to do such. I will grant that we may have had the ability to, and it's still tough, in 1969, to go to the distance of what they say 270-something thousand miles and go to the moon. I do not believe we had any kind of technology to land on the moon. Maybe in the later ones, but on that first one, that's hard for me to believe. And then not only did you have the ability to land on the moon, so you broke off of the first, the craft, then you had this secondary craft that landed on the moon. Then you had the ability of technology, and there's no AI, there's none of that, very minimal computerized infrastructure, and it could ascend back up off of the moon in perfect timing trajectory and attach back onto the spaceship and then head back home. All of that needs to be precise with very minimal computerized technology. Mm-hmm. I think that is very difficult to believe. Now, one thing to shoot a rocket and there's a trajectory shot, that's a coin flip. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but it's just propulsion. And once you get into space, assuming it's a vacuum, there's very little resistance. It's a motion. That trajectory shot's going to go there, right? Fine. So at minimum, just for the granting of sake, maybe we had the ability to go to the moon. And if the gravitational pull of the moon is real, then we can go around the moon and it will yo-yo-yo us back. That's what they tell us. That's what they say they're going to do now. So it conserves fuel. That's how they had enough fuel to come back, because they used the gravitational pull of the moon to yo-yo us back. Fine, let's assume all that. I may be able to grant that we could have shot a rocket. It could have went to the moon, made a U-turn, and yo-yoed back. But to believe they had the ability to break off of that rocket, land on the moon, play golf, do whatever, and then get back into this thing, and then in perfect timing, connect back into this rocket, and then head back. That is a little bit more difficult for me to believe in 1969.
All right, so let's say that they faked the one in '69 because we were trying to beat the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, if I give you that, then what about the subsequent missions? Like, why go through all that trouble all those times? If you've done it, then you've done it. You can stop. Why did we go back so many times?
Well, the agenda was still there of being prominent. I mean, this whole entire Cold War narrative pushed out that we're still being superiors there. I mean, they were still pushing out all kinds of weird narratives. Look at Operation Contra and everything else. They're always pushing out these weird narratives, and we're fighting against. They're still fighting against. Tear down that wall.
Huh.
That narrative is still always being there that we have to be superior.
Yeah.
And it's easy to fake that, especially back in the 70s. We didn't have any kind of the technology we have today to triple, double check the media that's being pushed out on television. Whatever the news said was live. Who had the technology to verify that? Who had the information that could verify that any of this was legitimately being from space? Nobody. Back in those days, probably very little people. Today, there might be an easier way to do this because everybody has technology in their hand.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would say it would be much, much easier to fake in this day and age. But I guess that looking back in the '60s, like I think it would have been harder to fake it than to do it for real, considering the technology that we were working with and using. Like it's easier for me to believe that we actually pulled this off than they actually pulled off faking it six
No,
times.
it's hard because if you said that we went to like, it's so weird. It's easier for me to believe we went to the Mariana Trench than going to the moon. Because at least it's terrestrial. It's subterrestrial, but it's terrestrial. It's still on this earth. It's hard to imagine that we are out of this place, and everything worked perfect too. Everything happened perfectly, and if it went off just a little, it all would have failed. Failed miserably too. But no, every time it worked great. What convenience.
Well, not really. I mean, there were problems, there were issues. I mean, Apollo 13 is just such a good example. I mean, that was a mess.
Yeah, and we got to give you at least one. We got to give you at least one bone in there. Look at the Challenger spaceship. We got to give you those, and you know what? Magically, those guys, they're gone. But what's the conspiracy? They're still alive out there, and people are finding them out there as teachers and professors out there.
So I guess my question is psychologically, what's the advantage? Like, what's the advantage of a conspiracy? Like when you
For the
think about
government?
the fact that people were saying, well, the astronauts are still alive. I mean, to me, it sounds so like out there. Like,
But the astronauts
I mean,
themselves are saying they didn't
Yeah.
go. At least some of them are. And then, their little stage presence where they were all depressed on stage. A lot of people have taken note of that. My personal theory is that the elites have been going back and forth to the moon themselves. No.
oh, Epstein's moon.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I guess, that would be interesting. I guess I wasn't thinking that. I don't know what they're doing on the moon, but my personal theory has been for a while, and I know I've told you guys this before, so I'll be brief, but the elites actually have real technology, and we're stuck with gas and fuel and all this stuff. So when you see flying saucers flying through the sky and they're going really fast and they're going up and down, these are the elites' vehicles.
Oh,
They actually have
that's
real
interesting.
technology because it's not unknown fact that we can make things levitate. Like gravity's not the only force in the universe, so we can make things levitate. Anti-gravity, anything. It's very easy to do. Apparently, a lot of people know how to do it. with certain metals and certain using electricity or cooling, and that's just the stuff that the public is allowed to know. And a lot of scientists and engineers go missing when they finally discover how to make things float and levitate. It's almost like they find the cure for cancer and then they go missing. So it's just one of those things. That's my personal belief. I can't really prove it any more than NASA can prove that we went to the moon. I can't prove it either. Like, we ask NASA, give me evidence in my hand and I'll believe your belief, what you're telling me to believe. I'll believe it. Just give me the evidence in my hand. And they don't. But yet they want me to believe what they're selling me. And I'm like, well, I will. I need, call me Doubting Thomas here, but I need some belief. I mean, I need some actual evidence. I need to put my fingers in those holes.
You know, one of the hard things about this for me too, it's the systems of redundancy.
Well, yeah, they could have literally put evidence in our hands today. We were all watching together. It's like, you could have put evidence in my hand today. At least we can say it's AI, whatever, but at least you did it. You put the evidence in my hand, and they've dropped it. They couldn't even do that. They couldn't even give us video footage of us leaving Earth.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the systems of redundancy. We made the phone call. Nixon made the phone call. Shout out to Bell South. To the moon. And it was live, right? Assuming that's...
Talking about the landline.
Right. That's what I mean. But it was wireless. They ain't got no line going to the moon.
Well, there was a wire to his phone.
Yeah. But my point is...
there was a wire to the phone, yeah.
Right.
That was connected to a telephone
But it was a wireless connection all the way to the moon, right? And so let's assume that's true. And let's just believe it's real. We landed on the moon, and in 1970, they could communicate to the moon wirelessly. All right. In 2026, with our advanced technological systems, our satellites that are in space, you're telling me with 27 cameras, I don't need 2K footage? Forget that. You're saying bandwidth problems? Fine. Drop it down to 720. That's good enough. You're telling me that you can't use 27 cameras and have enough redundant backup systems. So one camera fails, fine. You got 26 more. Another camera fails, fine. You got 25 more. You're telling me you can't give me a steady feed with 27 cameras in 2026 because you have wireless signal issues?
They should have.
But you had no problem connecting wirelessly with Nixon?
I have an answer for you.
Okay.
And it's a boomer answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe this is part of it. The work ethic of the United States has changed in 2026 than it was in 1960. Because you had people that were dedicated to what they were doing for work, and there were people that dedicated their lives to making these things happen, and they had pride in what they were doing and they believed in it. And now in 2026, there's one thing people believe in: getting paid. And that's it. If they're making a decent salary, they'll do the job. If not, forget it. And I think that is very obvious in what we just saw, because we have a bunch of people working who are doing it as a job, not as a passion, not as something they believe in. They're doing it because they're probably making pretty good money. And yes, it sounds like a real boomer thing, but I honestly believe that. I believe the attitude. Tommy's saying, "Boy, that is a boomer answer." No, I think the work ethic and the attitude of America has changed.
But wouldn't it make them more money if they put more cameras and showed more footage? Like, they're actually giving us a product that we're
but I'm not
for?
talking about the people. I'm not talking about the people that are producing it. I'm talking about the people that are like. I'm not talking about the people that are in charge of it. Like, maybe they may or may not be thinking about this, but I'm talking about the actual production of it, like the workers, the people that were putting it together. Like you were saying, they're having wireless problems or whatever. They very well may be, because the people that are building this stuff probably don't really care anymore. The people that are assembling it don't care anymore. The people that are running it don't really care anymore.
Well, let's take that. Let's say I accept that.
Okay.
There's always when you turn a knob, there's always you have to give and take a little bit. There's no one-sided perspective. So let's assume that you're right. In the 1970s, the work ethic was great, but because the knob is real, what you don't have, work ethic has to be overly supplemented because you have less technology. So you have to work harder and make more redundancies because you don't have the technology to guarantee it. So you get to 2026, and the knob has turned. Now, work ethic goes down, but you have enough technology so that you can have redundant systems so that you can minimize your efficiency of work ethic. So yeah, some of the ethics may be the emphasis on making quality products, which I'm hard to believe. If this is all government contracted, then this is probably Lockheed, Rayon.
Yeah, Radeon.
This is Lockheed Martin, whatever. They're probably optimizing for whatever, but let's assume not. But the knob is turned. So our technology is far superior. And the ability to correct for less quality products with the amplitude of technology should have equaled the platform. And if we had the ability to call the moon wirelessly with the redundant technologies back then and low technologies, we should have had at least the ability to have redundant technologies today with lower work ethic. Because there is no, unless somebody's just purposely being malicious and just, made on purpose bad cameras, on purpose bad satellite communication, there should be some equilibrium here.
I see what you're saying, yeah. And let me just add, I spoke before I thought. It's not that everyone has a bad work ethic. I just think that overall I think there's a decline in it in America today. I don't think it's quite the same. Now, that's not to say there still aren't people that are entrepreneurial, that are very dedicated to their jobs, and I'm sure there's a lot of people at NASA that have passion and still, still believe in their work and their mission. I think looking at the overarching picture, I think the general attitude has changed from the '60s till now. Um, but I know it kind of came off as saying that everyone's just lazy and doesn't do a good job, but I didn't want to say that. I didn't want that to be what it sounded like I was saying. What I'm saying is I think there are more people now that have that attitude than there were back in the '60s.
I feel like
Not that
every
not that there weren't
generation.
slackers, not that there weren't slackers back in the '60s too, obviously, but yeah.
I feel like every generation says that, since the beginning of time, every generation they say, oh yeah, our, forefathers, they did this or that, and we need to go back to those old ways. Maybe there's truth in it, maybe not, but one thing I was going to say too, with my personal theory is that, again, with us going back and forth to the moon, NASA and them, the elites, are purposely not giving us any real footage. So that way we continue to believe in things like flat Earth, and we continue to argue over whether we went to the moon or not. Meanwhile, the elites they've already been there. They probably have bases. They probably have all kinds of stuff. All these flying saucers we're seeing flying around are probably literally these Jetson cars that the elites are driving. And of course, they're never going to tell us any of that, because if they did, the gas company would lose everything. Everybody would probably storm the elites' homes and take all their stuff. So that's my personal theory, that we possibly went to the moon several times. We've probably been to other planets too. But us common people, we're never going to be told anything like that. We're going to die with this 100-year-old gas technology.
Hey, can you guys do me a favor and see if you can put the link in there to get Tommy on? His fingers must be cramping with all the typing he's doing, but I have a feeling we need to talk.
Yeah, I'll put it in there. What's that's the thing that it just bothers me is because I'm pretty prolific when it comes to technology, especially wireless infrastructure, and I know how much even where I was educated at, my teacher was actually the network administrator of Eglin Air Force Base. And we had to. This was back in 2001. Fiber optics and T1 lines were at infancy. We were still doing fusion welding of fiber optics. The amounts of redundancies was astronomical. The government wasn't playing when it came to making sure communication is not going to get severed. And to think that today and that was 25 years ago. And to think that today they don't have higher levels of redundancy. It makes me say they just don't want you to see it. Because if they did, I just have a hard time believing they couldn't put 100 cameras on there then. Put a whatever you got to do. If you really want the transmission to be here, you have enough satellites, low Earth orbit. You have enough abilities to do redundant systems.
I'm not disagreeing with you, host.
This just seems so purposeful because it's like, bro, I know you emphasize on redundancy to the highest of the unctions.
When they were doing the spacewalks for the
You're talking about the
with the shuttle
moonwalk?
and the space station. No, spacewalks. This was during when the shuttles were going up and they were docking with the space station. Like there's some beautiful footage, clear, crystal clear, excellent footage of the astronauts actually doing the spacewalks, doing repairs, doing work out there. So it's not like we can't do it. You know what I mean? Like it's been done because we've seen it, we've watched it. I mean, they
You're
have some
talking about
really
in low
amazing
Earth
shots.
orbit, or is that what it's called, low Earth orbit or something, where the satellites
LEO,
are?
yeah.
Yeah, you can watch those live
where,
right
where
now.
the space station was going was yeah, and
You can watch those right now.
you,
It's still live. Like you can still see that
yeah.
stuff, but
Well,
it's
that's what
not
I'm saying.
outside of Earth's orbit. That's why everybody wants to see us actually leave Earth's orbit, so they can see the Earth getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And
You
it's
can
just
still
weird to me. I didn't think that was such a hard ask until I saw the footage today. I was like, well, surely it's going to show it. But no, they couldn't even show it again. I was like, man, that actually disappointed me. I thought I was going to, because it just happened. And I didn't get to see the footage until just live with everybody today. So
Yeah. The only thing I can say is, I mean, we have seen the curvature of the Earth in some of the shots that that we've seen already. I mean, so we can see that the Earth is curved, but I mean, I see what you're saying from it going away. That may have to do, and again, I'm not an astrophysicist, but it may have to do with the fact that the ship isn't going in a straight line between the Earth and the moon. So it's not like as it's pulling away from the Earth, you can continually see the Earth. Um, for one thing, I know that the Artemis was going to do an orbit. So they were only going so far out from the Earth, and then they were going to go into orbit anyway. And I think eventually, and it might be another day or two, they're going to break orbit and head towards the moon. Now, we might see something then. It's possible that they have some sort of footage that they'll be able to televise as it breaks orbit and heads towards the moon. But
I think host just showed the Earth is pretty small.
You can't even see it now.
Yeah, they
Like what's interesting, you guys can go back to it anywhere. If you go to the 17-minute mark, you have to go backwards. 11 hours, 17 minutes. It shows you Earth really close, like the one that Collie showed. And then if you go to 11 minutes and 22 seconds, it shows Earth really small. And then if you go now, you don't see anything. Well, I think I showed that multiple times at that point, but
it's in high Earth orbit right now.
if it's traveling at 25,000 miles an hour and it's been going for 6 hours, then it's at 150,000 miles away.
Yep. But it's not. It's in orbit though. It's going that fast around the Earth in orbit.
Well, if that's the case, then we should see the Earth. But we can't.
Well, we should have been able to.
No, you actually saw the Earth leaving away, and then now, if you look at it live, you don't see anything.
I'm trying to look this up at the same time. Boy.
Got the redactor going through on the redacting list. So if you guys see these redactions, it's because the redactor's redacting.
Oh, old man Tommy's on.
Oh, is that Tom?
I was like, where's this background noise?
See, this
It's
is
like,
that Michael
Yeah,
Scott
what is
stuff,
that?
you know?
I was actually tripping for a second. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, I felt like that kid on Kazoo was like, wait a minute.
Who are you?
Yeah.
That's called the moon.
I thought it
It's
was.
made of
I thought it
cheese.
was.
You're going to the moon to get cheese.
Yeah, I thought it was Elder saying that. And I was like, wait a second, his mouth isn't moving.
I'm using
Now
my mind.
cheese makes my poop all full of my diaper.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yes.
Is it, I don't know.
So-
I don't want to beat the dead horse. That what I've been saying. I don't
Forty
mind.
old man.
I don't mind giving the benefit of the doubt that, well, in 2026, I say we should have the technology, assuming that we're not in a dome, assuming we're not stuck in some kind of biosphere or some weird, assuming that there is the ability to travel out of this
So,
place.
I'm not going to
don't
be
mind
convinced
saying
that
at
we're in a
least
big
that we could
terrarium
do
yet.
that. Go ahead.
I said I'm not convinced we're in a big terrarium yet, but something we're getting there.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying for the benefit of the doubt, let's just say that's not the case, and we have the ability to get out of this structure we live in. I don't mind saying that in 2026 we better have the ability to do something. But
Well, what about SpaceX launches? I haven't heard you guys mention that. They always show those launches,
yeah, but it's always in low Earth orbit. Like they're never going past that.
but they didn't show it at all. They didn't show them coming off the ground. And if you saw how fast they launched, it was crazy.
Yeah, that
Just
is
compare 'em.
true. They didn't have that feed like from the ground up, like SpaceX always has that ground up feed. So you actually start seeing the state, you start seeing the continent. Then you know they do have, at least SpaceX does that. But then home rocket builders do that too. There's a lot of home rocket builders that attach little GoPros, and of course they can only go up to what.
But these days, we're not competent. We can't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like being mocked.
It's like
Why?
Join the club. We all get mocked around here.
what's the
Mock, mock.
anyways, that's why my conspiracy mind is going really heavy about this. I don't have to be that way, but I know, again, I don't believe the people who are actually doing things are stupid. Who you
But
see,
they're wearing a nice suit. Why wouldn't you believe it?
the ones you see on camera, that's a different question. But the ones who are
True.
doing something, I don't believe they're stupid. And because of that, it just makes me ponder a lot more heavy than I probably should.
Why? What do you mean you probably should or you shouldn't? I don't understand.
Well,
Why
I-
shouldn't you ponder it?
Well, I mean, I like to give the benefit of the doubt when I can because I already know
Why?
because my brain
They
already.
lie about everything. Why would you trust these people?
I think
Elder
Elder's
just-
Cats is back.
He's in space now.
Yeah, he's actually in.
My Fluffy's back.
He looks like he's in the Artemis.
Well, it's because I already know my proclivities are already tilted in being very critical. And I want to be fair in the assumption that we could do something. I don't have to try to be conspiratorial. That's just a default. So I try to say, all right, well, let's just assume that I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, let's see how that could work out. And when I try to add those pieces together and they don't add up, that's when I say, all right, so I'm not wrong. And this is a conspiracy.
Yeah, for
Well,
me,
some things are glaring and don't make any sense at all. I mean, I watched that not thinking anything about it. I just saw it coming up. I sat down and started watching it. I'm going, why the hell aren't they showing the launch? They're showing like someone's iPhone footage. What is this?
Yeah. That was another weird thing. What's all these weird angles? Why are they showing some guy inside an office shooting from inside of a building out into space? But it's literally
crappy. It was crappy coverage.
It's just a blue sky.
Please pull up a SpaceX launch. Please, just pull up.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of.
I'm working on it, Tom. I'm working.
No, I know, but just like the comparison is so insane.
Well, you're right. I don't think you're wrong in that. It's absolutely SpaceX definitely has no problem with that. Now
that's because Elon is using good cameras and good coverage. Because if they didn't, he'd
Yeah, but you're telling me that the government, you're telling me the government doesn't have the ability to have those kind of redundant systems?
They had 26 cameras.
And what I'm telling you is private business is always going to be better than government.
Yeah, but
bullshit. Government is the reason why they did it in the first place. You wouldn't have launches at all.
These government infrastructures, a lot of them they have private contractors.
Was the space race not the government? No, that was back in my day when they made the Mustang. I was born in a Mustang.
You could work on your own car back then.
Back then, you didn't have anything complicated because we were more competent.
Everything had a wire on it. There was none of this wireless nonsense.
You could fix your car with a screwdriver because
we're going to actually take fiber
competent.
optic wire straight to the moon. We're going to follow what Ukraine's been doing and create like a spider web all over Ukraine from fiber optic wires.
I remember when we used to drive these things with our feet, and things were more competent back then.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Well, Balzania wants to give you guys an update. He's still here. Thought he had a poop, but ended up just farting in the water. That's the update.
I found toilet time on the toilet, and I couldn't feel my legs.
This is the group.
And Bean Burrito wants you to know that he's lost in space and send help.
Do you see what I'm saying, Ted?
You're enjoying this way too much, man.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Anita says, I'm out on Elder. He's in the Matrix, trying to pull us back in.
The way that you just don't see, like, the thing that we do is film. That's what everybody is good at now. You can make that argument too. That's like the one thing we're competent at.
Well, that and wireless transmission. That has amplified beyond what's even in the public sphere. I can't even explain how much advanced we are in wireless transmission. And to think that they cannot build redundant systems for that. And like I said, fine, too much bandwidth, whatever. You use lower frequencies. Lower frequencies have less proclivities of being disrupted. Don't give me no 4K, none of that. Just give me a 720 feet, 640 feet for all I care. I don't care. And
I asked AI about this.
Yeah.
And it tried gaslighting me and telling me that it was because of some sort of plasma effect, not letting radio waves leave the ship. I swear to God.
Oh, plasma waves. Sounds like Star Trek.
And that's why we don't have
plasma blocks radio waves.
And that's why we could call the moon in 1969.
Yeah, because we had a cord. But back
then,
it
actually sent a cord.
Yeah, it went through the plasma waves, so we didn't need to.
Phones were just better back then.
So what I just feel, I feel
Mont Bell did a great job.
I feel duped because it's almost like one of those, like if you ask a Muslim or something, yeah, can you prove that God exists, that Allah exists? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, where? Can you put evidence in my hand? And they're like, yeah, I'm gonna put evidence in your hand. Yeah, I'll put evidence in your hand. Okay, yeah. And they pump you up. You're still waiting, and they still give you nothing. It's like, okay, well, that's nothing. And then that's what NASA just did. It's like, so do you have? They know that everybody's been doubting them.
They're fucking with us.
That's what I'm saying. We've been asking them, can you put evidence in our hand, please, NASA, to believe what you're telling us? We want to believe you. We want to believe the religion you're selling us, but we're trying. And they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to put evidence in your hand. Don't worry. Stay right there. 54 years later.
There's a plasma effect that doesn't let the radio waves leave. Meanwhile, you can watch it on SpaceX's live feed.
All right, so I just had another conspiracy.
Go ahead.
What about knowing that now SpaceX is about to have an IPO? What if this whole thing was premeditated to be a flop so they can emphasize a contract with SpaceX after the IPO? They're all buying in now. All like Jared Kushner, all of them are buying in. They've been bought in, actually. They've been in for a long time.
Should we be buying?
You can't buy right now unless you can get your corporate shares because it's still private. But it's going to go through the roof. They're already talking about $1 trillion value, and that ain't real. That ain't going to happen. But if these government people know that they botched this on purpose, SpaceX is going to use this as we can do it and not botch it. And once they do, and this will be after the IPO, it's going to go through the roof. And then the government's going to say, well, I guess we just need to use SpaceX.
Yep.
Now, that could be another thing. It was premeditated to be botched so then that the IPO could go through the roof for SpaceX.
Well, Elon's so smart-hearted that he tricks people into thinking they could put data centers on the moon. So,
well, I'm not going that far. I was just talking about money.
Well, yeah, but if you could tell people that and they go, "Oh, that makes sense,"
right, right.
You know,
well, it's another thing. It's like people, assume, they forget about heat dissipation, and it's like space is a vacuum. Well, that's what they tell us, and it's like that. So I don't even want to get into that. That's a whole nother thing.
No, they were going, oh, we could power it easier though because we don't have an atmosphere.
Right. Well, at least you have solar power at the max efficiency for sure.
Sure, but you got radiation hitting chips.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You better have some ultimate technology for that.
Well, we lost it 54 years ago.
All I can say is maybe that could be a justification to why this is so botched. Is so that they can transfer the contracting to SpaceX and boost the IPO to the roof. Outside of that, I don't know why they would do this. I just can't understand why they would botch it so bad.
NASA works in mysterious ways.
The government, they're hitting it with a big wrecking ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess like you were saying before, it's the agenda for AI presidential systems.
I wouldn't be surprised, would you?
No, I wouldn't. I mean,
how about the ballroom news? Come on now.
I know. Trump finally comes out and tells us straight up. Yeah, and so here it is, folks.
Although my understanding is the bunker's always been there since World War II, I think, but they are renovating it.
It's a data center.
Yeah, that's. I believe it's probably going to be some integrated AI infrastructure.
It is. I heard about it like 2 months before that came out.
Yeah, a lot of people were already assuming when they first knocked it down, and that's when people started hearing about there's been this bunker underneath there since like the 50s or 70s or something. Or
go dig up the contract. Go look up the contractor list. It's like Oracle, Lockheed.
Yeah. And I understand. I mean, if there is some kind of benefit for that for the government, but then again, if it's supposed to be a corporate takeover of the government, yeah, that would make sense why it's more specifically companies like Oracle.
What about an ancient Sumerian demon running the whole government? What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be Sumerian?
Well, that's what the I forgot which AI CEO, but one of these AI company CEOs says.
Just because it's older than all the other shit.
Yeah, they basically said AI. It might just be an AI. It could just be an ancient deity, and it's manifesting itself through AI so it can communicate with us.
Is that why they're doing what they're doing at those airports, like in Denver? They're putting these deities in our faces.
I don't know why they're doing what they're doing in Denver.
All these big city international airports, they're putting these weird like statues of Moloch, and it's like, what are you guys doing? It's like, what are you doing?
They've been doing that for a long time.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And now they're just finally, so that's all just rolling out. They're making the path straight.
Oh,
we're ran by a cult.
The evil spirits is what keep the planes up.
Yeah. That's true.
Let me see. Who said that?
That was Elder.
No, not that.
I got crazy feedback in my headphones.
There's an echo, Tom. You're echoing.
Let me turn this other thing off. It might be because of this. I have a shared screen because of what's it called? TikTok feed. How's that?
Let's see.
Is that better? Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, big.
Okay.
There you go.
Big difference.
No, I don't need that anymore anyway.
Felt like we were in a hip hop session.
Now you can do your old man voice. I could hear it better.
DJ Poopy Pants. I'm busting your balls. I love you, Ted.
I know. I can take it.
That's good. The government's going to keep giving it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So apparently,
You know what?
it's.
Hey,
Go
well,
ahead.
I was going to say, all right. I know I'm being. I know.
DJ
I'm
Poopy
being-
Pants.
Yeah, I'm being. Yeah, DJ Poopy Pants. I am. I'm hoping and wishing. Basically, I know. Wish in one hand and look in the other and see what you get first. But no, I don't know. Maybe there's a romantic part of me that's like it wants this to all be real, it wants it to work, it wants it to be adventurous. You know what I mean? But
The
I can't
ironic part
argue.
is it can't if you believe their bullshit. That's the part that's ironic about what you just said.
Well, I think everything you guys have said, the thing is to me, it's all feasible. Like what you're saying is feasible. Like it could all be faked. It could all be, it could all be staged. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to believe that. I guess that's because I've become disillusioned. You know what I mean? It's like, well, even the space program, like if they're taking that away from me, then, it feels very empty.
Hey, they rape kids. Okay, these are the people that cover that up. So
Yeah.
just remember that those people will do all kinds of shit because they don't care about you. They never did. They never will. And the narrative that you have in your life is part of the narrative you have in your head. And
Yeah.
that's just like, hey, I remember when I was a kid and how badass that was, and it made me feel good because it felt like ingenuity and it was motivating. And now they're trying to knock it down with the wrecking ball, so they're making the opposite of that happen.
Yeah.
Where you go, we can't do shit and we suck and blah blah blah. When really it's all in your head.
Yeah. Well, it's what you're exposed to. Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you don't have a large enough worldview to really observe what's happening, or you don't bother, I guess that's part of my error. But if you just see the things that then shape your worldview into thinking the things are just crappy, and you extend that to everything.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the ultimate agenda, possibly even outside of money. I don't know if there's such thing as that, but it could be that they just want to blur the truth because they know truth is uniting. So if we ever found the truth as a collective, then we would all unite under that truth and overthrow every government on the planet. So they want to blur the lines of truth. So they're doing a typical Michael Scott move where you told the truth at one point maybe, but now you don't want anybody to believe it. So now you have to spread a bunch of lies so that way nobody knows which one's which and which one's not. So this
Because
is just
you're
one of
wrapping
those
it up.
many religious lies that they're selling us, is this whole NASA April Fool's thing. That way we don't know. We'll never know what the truth is because they keep on giving us more and more lies. Oh, did we go over there? Did we not? Did we go to Iran? Did we not? And they're just constantly selling us more and more lies. And there's probably truth in a little bit of it. Maybe some of these things are all true, but we'll never know. We can't know.
Well, they're wrapping it up. They're literally going like, no, it's some shit's like undeniably like bullshit. Again, where are the Epstein files? Where's this? Where's that? Like when you start creating all these like cracks in society, it eventually falls apart. And if you want to build something completely different, you'd break the old thing. So if the old thing is you're motivated by it and everybody's a part of it and blah, 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 and it's generational, well, then on the opposite end, they're taking advantage of that and then going, well, actually, the old boomer, blah, blah, blah. And they're inverting the narrative that they used to give you when you were a kid, Ted. And now it makes you fight with your kids or whatever. And it creates a bunch of chaos, basically. And that's all just to make a new society, because then you'll overthrow it, but you'll overthrow it. And then some guy in the crowd will be, hey, we should do this. And then you go, it does make sense. And eventually that starts getting motion and then picks up steam. It's just they're criminals and fuck them.
Well, even if we started a brand new society, yes, we'd run into the same problems in the future, but it would take a little bit for it to get to that point, because you would have a bunch of different breaks. Like if you strike the shepherd, all the sheep will flee. So if you destroy the American government, for example, or whoever's the elites is, everybody else is going to find unity, find different groups to unify under. There's going to be all these different leaders rising up, some bigger, some smaller, and
some made out of silicon, some not.
Sure, you may have Sonny out there, and that's cool, but there's going to be a bunch of different groups. Everybody's going to start uniting, and eventually all those leaders will start submitting to this leader over here in this region, and then all these leaders will submit to another leader in that region over there, and then eventually all those leaders will be like, we need one ultimate leader that can lead us all again, and then that's going to happen, and then it's going to be very short after that we run into the same problem again. But at least that does take time for us to get from the point of chaos to the point of ultimate order again. It does take some time.
Well, doesn't it seem like they snap their fingers and then that chaos happens, or it doesn't? It's like George Floyd, snap, go, and people are ripping a city down, and then something else, it's the Epstein files, and people will be like marching and like it's kind of like lethargic. And it just seems like total absolute control. And then when you also have that combined with I'm pretty sure your leaders are all fake. I'm pretty sure they're like bred. And then the more you get deeper into like those Epstein files, it's just a very soft release on what's going on. It just becomes more and more clear. And by the way, those could be controlled too for this exact reason. That could all be the thing that you start to create this, flip where it's just so unreal. And then you create these other fractions, and then eventually people that did believe go, oh, okay, well, I guess if you're willing to fuck me all the way over here, then it'll just keep going and going. And that's the reality. But the thing is, if another leader rises out of nowhere and it makes sense that he would be the leader, like Trump or whoever, then you go, well, how much of people's identity got tied around that shit? People that never cared about politics. Do you think that's by accident? Come on.
I know.
And none of this stuff is by accident.
I think we've been saying that same thing ever since all this stuff, because nobody really cared that much. Like, politics was cool, but it was like sports. Yeah, ever since I think I would put the timestamp at Joe Biden. Maybe you guys probably have a better timestamp. That's when I started learning more about politics, not because of I care. I still don't care. But all of a sudden, I know so much about politics because people around me care. Everybody seems to care now. So I'm just constantly being fed political information, even
Trump,
though I'm not even looking at stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about that? Did you learn about it then? Or you didn't care up until Biden?
What was the question?
Did you not learn about it until Biden, or what about Trump's first run?
No, I still didn't care. I personally didn't care about politics, even with Trump's first run. To me, it just seemed like it was the same old, same presidents, different puppets on the same hand.
What about when COVID
Why
hit?
Biden then?
Because that's when, the COVID thing was more enforced by Biden. And this is when I could feel the weight of everybody's thinking, wow, politics really matters because who we elect actually is going to change our life. This guy might actually force us all into these isolation chambers.
That was
quarantine.
Trump. He's the one that said 20 days to stop the spread and all this. That was all Trump.
But yeah, and Biden kept on enforcing it.
Right, but it was all.
But there's always a justification. It was like, well, then the Democrats forced me to do it, and then the Democrats be like, and then the Republicans, blah, 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 blah. The Republicans are in the cupboard. The Democrats are under your bed. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I know the Democrats are the ones who made up the Epstein files and that they exist and all that. So Trump
They're
was
all
saying
the
that
same.
anybody who believes in the Epstein files are all Democrats because the Epstein files don't exist, even though he's the one who just released them. But maybe it started with Trump in his first term. I guess that's how much I didn't even care. I didn't even know who.
I was basically asking, was there a singular event other than COVID that made you go like, oh, this Biden thing is insane?
No, it's not even so much Biden. It's just things started happening. People started caring. It was around Biden's term that people really started talking a lot about everything. So I've just been getting this secondhand smoke from all these electives, and I don't even want it. I just don't care still.
What were your interests before that?
Same as it always has been.
It's,
Taking over
just
the
Michael
world,
Scott.
Pinky.
Just The Office.
Well, I did like that, yeah. But no, you already know ancient history stuff. That's always been my thing. I'm OCD
Right.
about that. So that's always been my thing, still is my thing, always going to be the thing till I die. For stuff like, voting or, who's your favorite football team, to me, that seems absolutely meaningless because it doesn't do anything for me. Now, I get for some people, it means you have to pay more taxes or maybe you have to drive a certain way. I don't know. It just hasn't really affected me personally. So,
well, just before we continue on, we only got a couple more minutes. I just want to remind you guys, this is live. I showed you guys earlier the visualization. That's what they're showing you now. Like literally just a second ago, they were there. But this is live, and this is what's going on right now, and this is what's happening right here.
Whoa, that's not real. That's a photo.
Right.
That's an AI generated photo.
That's what they say up here, visualization.
Yeah, on the right side you'll see a bunch of lunch ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is live, so this is what's going on over in NASA land.
I love that clear footage.
So show us SpaceX now. Show a launch of something from SpaceX.
Let me see if I can pull that up
just to compare it.
While he's pulling that up, I'll just finish what I was saying real quick. I care about things that I feel like change my life right now. So that's why.
Did you feel like that with that whole thing? I guess it did because of COVID.
Yeah, the COVID thing did affect my workplace because everybody had to wear masks, including myself. There was actually rules, like you had to quarantine yourself if you got COVID and stuff like that. And that was a pretty big change, so I can't make light of that. But I think that's when I started realizing, wow, this affected me. I still don't care about politics because I know this is just a little gimmick hat trick that they're doing to get people to care. But, man, the masses it worked on. Everybody cares about it now. Yeah, like you guys are saying. Everybody cares who normally wouldn't care. Everybody cares now. My dog even cares. And I don't even have a dog.
What you're seeing here is actually
That's
today.
right.
This is actually SpaceX. Is today? Yep, today.
Yeah, but show like one where they have footage on board.
They do on this, but this is actually
They do.
today. So this isn't like some doctored thing. This is SpaceX
wow.
flying today, and they're about to show you the side footage of them flying.
This actually looks a lot more clear than the NASA one.
And see, here's so you got these.
Interesting. Ted, comment? Come on, buddy. Wake up. You're sleeping. I think that's crazy. I don't think you can build a spaceship and not be prepared. Oh, someone bring the cameras? It's crazy, buddy. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, but there's student workers that don't give a shit the same way that people that are passionate about space would do the job. You also you can't be a slouch to get into there. It'd be like there are jobs in the government, like in the Air Force, where you don't get paid money like that, but you still try your hardest. So again, logic gone. I don't know. I don't want to say it's fake necessarily, but I kind of feel like, man, I watched it thinking I was going to see something like this. And then I go, wait, what the fuck? Where's the footage? It's just some guy with an iPhone in 3 different. So shake yourself awake and ask yourself, what the fuck is wrong with like what's
Well,
going
you
on?
already know, Tom. We could be the ones asleep, and maybe he's the one that's awake. Maybe NASA did go, and maybe we're just wishful thinking. We just don't want to go to the moon because we don't want to progress or something. I don't know. It
is wishful thinking. Human trafficking, wishful thinking.
Well,
I'm just
space
thinking
trafficking.
it wishfully.
The one thing I will
Absolutely,
say
it's
what's
fun.
interesting is this shot right here with the thrusters. We got that same view with the NASA live feed. If you go back to 11 hours and
Yeah, we're
17
not seeing
minutes.
the Earth go far away though.
Right, no, but what I'm saying is this is clear.
Mm-hmm.
This is like crystal clear. At least NASA could have provided something to that magnitude. And that's what I'm saying with the systems of redundancies that NASA has and not providing something like that, that's what makes my conspiracy mind tick even harder. And like I said, I don't mind saying we could do those things. It's just if I was a betting man, I'm not confident on that bet.
Well, there's another thing too. I was going to mention. I know we got to go, but something Tom was saying. I have to agree. A lot of times, what happens is sometimes you work really hard for something, and then you find out it's a facade, and then you're like, "Well, I just spent my whole life getting up to this point, so I'm not going to throw it all away now." Like Mormons do this all the time. Masons do this all the time. They get up, and then it's because, and this is how the system actually works in these cults. They force you to do all this work to level up to level 2. Then you have to do even more work to level up to level 3. You have to give the church so much money. Then you have to do even more to get up to level 3. I wonder all the time if once they get up to the highest level, they actually don't actually believe in any of that crap. But they know, I just spent my whole life doing all this, so I'm not going to throw it all away.
Yep.
Just something to think about too. It doesn't happen to everybody, but I think sometimes people probably lose their faith in these things that they worked their whole life for. But now that they're at that pinnacle, yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, and
they're still going to film
now
it landing. They're about to film it landing.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
they can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. That
They're
wouldn't make
filming
any
the
sense.
thing landing.
But but
And so this is
how
why
that
I'm
doesn't-
saying if there's an objective, the objective might be let's boost up SpaceX IPO.
You're
break your
making
spirit.
SpaceX look awfully good.
and
Yeah.
break the slave spirit at the same time. Come on now, Bucks. Get that back broken.
Well, anyways, yeah, that is. And, like I say, I don't mind having these conversations. I don't mind playing on both sides of the coin. I'm not confident to say one way or the other 100%.
Oh yeah.
But if I was a betting man, I have a hard time betting that what NASA's is pushing out is the full story.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm putting everything on red. Human trafficking, devil worshippers. Actually, I changed
Thank
my
you.
mind. These guys are dependable. Listen.
Thank you. You
That's
won't
what's
regret
run this
this.
good land.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on Polymarket right now, and
You'll win.
we're gonna win.
I'm gonna put it on Poshmark.
Yeah.
We're gonna sell this junk.
Anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Appreciate everybody sticking it through. I'm sure a lot of people on the chats probably have a lot of opinion about these things, and let's
Especially Gay
continue.
Bill.
We can continue the conversation next week, but remember, next week is episode 200. There's going to be something special.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, stay hip. and we're going to break in episode 200 and the live also. So excited for all of that. But as always, appreciate Tom chiming in at the end. You got Elder here.
Definitely.
We got colleague and myself, host, and all of our members. If you haven't decided yet, please decide to join if you'd like to support us. And
send us $1,000.
Yeah, send us
Hey,
all
We'll
the
things are
send you
good.
a rag.
Things are
And
doing
we will
good.
probably
And
be
a
more
roll of toilet
efficient
paper.
with the money than NASA. And
And we'll provide you real camera footage.
yeah,
Of
That's
what we're
right.
about to do.
Real camera footage.
We'll
yeah.
get you discounts on your Phillips at the pump.
I'll
And,
send you all kinds of codes, and you can type them in, and they'll give you
It's going to be a bunch of viruses.
special prompts.
Elder will send you a swag bag.
He's
Yeah.
going to send you the Trojan.
I'm all about swag.
Anyways, I appreciate all you guys. I really do enjoy the conversation all the time. I wish more people would have these conversations. I think it's good. I think it's insightful. I think it's good for the mind to contemplate. So, like Elder said, we're not living in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
anyways, that's all we have for this week. We always appreciate you guys. And until next week, this is Toilet. Oh, shoot. This is the Matrix Network. And we will see you guys
Got your
in the
ass.
next one.
That was on purpose.
And we're out of here.
Man, Donald.